Welcome to the Money Manifestation Mastery podcast with your host, Lara Waldman, where we talk all things money. Big money, big purpose, big power. Waking up your wealth for heart-centered business owners and entrepreneurs. In today's episode, we are going to be speaking about support as a superpower. Why it's essential for you to be well supported in order to thrive on purpose. Receiving support is an essential ingredient to creating integrated wealth aligned with your heart, body, and soul. Let's dive in. When I was a little girl, one of the things I used to say was, I can do it by myself. I didn't want to be helped. I didn't want to be supported. I wanted to do things by myself. My mum came to pick me up from preschool one day when I was about 3 years old, and the preschool teacher said, in a very critical voice, if I didn't keep my finger on that girl, she'd be running the classroom by now. And my mum thought, natural leader. I had natural personality traits that were very independent, that wanted to lead. And this is great in so many ways. It's made me very independent. But this same personality trait has also caused a lot of problems for me. Everything has a double-edged sword. There's positive and negative in absolutely everything. And I've learned in my life that it's about balance. And one of the things that I've had to learn the hard way is something called support. Allowing myself to receive support and allowing myself to be supported. But I found this very, very difficult, almost impossible. Because to me, receiving support and being supported felt like weakness, and it felt very vulnerable. And I would not allow myself to feel weak or vulnerable. So I couldn't allow support in. I didn't face this problem of not being able to be supported and not allowing support in until I was getting stuck growing my business. So I would connect to future wealthy me, my inner guidance, my wealth frequency, and ask, what do I need to create these results? And the answer was always around support, being supported, and to stop trying to do everything on my own and by myself. See, I thought that to succeed meant that I had to do it by myself, that if I was being supported, that meant failure or weakness, and that I wasn't good at what I did. I didn't even have the muscle to even know that I needed to be supported. It was completely in a blind spot. But when I unpicked my inability to allow support in, I discovered that it was this depth of vulnerability that I did not want to feel. When it comes to growing your business, growing your finances, creating your life on purpose, creating a life of true wealth, guided by your heart, body, and soul, you will not be doing this alone. Of course, for a business to grow and thrive, you need a team. You need a high-functioning, successful team. You need people with you, working for you. There is no business that is thriving by itself. There is a lot that you can do as a solopreneur, as a one-man band, so to speak, but you can only go so far by yourself. And then you hit up against an inner block, an inner barrier. And in order to expand into that next level means a pivot. And I've learned all of this the hard way. And now it's really funny to me to think that I could have grown my business by myself, but I genuinely thought that's what I was supposed to do, and that's what success meant. So I had a lot of unlearning to do and a lot of belief shifting to make, a lot of mindset work to do. And I have uncovered and discovered some beautiful things that I want to share with you. So now I see that support is a superpower. And the more supported I am, the more supported I allow myself to be, the more successful I am. That was the piece that I didn't know before. And this is the piece that I want to share with you. When we're thinking about support, there are different levels of support. So there's support in your business, there's support in your finances, there's support in your home, there's support with your health. There are many levels of support. When I'm tapping into that future wealthy me or that future version of what I'm growing into next, I like to connect to what is there. What do I have in place then that I don't have in place now? What support do I have? What's the infrastructure that I have? What is underneath me, holding my business, holding my bank account? What is in place then that is not in place now? What is the key infrastructure that I've allowed myself to receive, that I've allowed myself to be supported by in that future vision? And this is how I get ready or prepare myself for receiving on a higher and deeper level. So this is a fantastic question to ask yourself. When you think about the life that you want to create, the life of wealth in every area of your life, you can tune in and tap into what is in place in that future wealthy version of you. What support do you have in place then that you don't have now? And start to train your brain, start to train yourself into a different point of view around what success actually looks like, what being well supported actually looks like. It's really interesting to tap into and look at the difference between the support that you allow yourself to have now, the infrastructure that's in place under you and around you now, versus future wealthy you. The you that's in your power, that takes impeccable care of themselves, that is a great leader, great business owner, that's created wealth in every area of your life. There will be a difference. So you want to tap into where you are now and ask some questions. Where am I not allowing myself to be supported? Or where am I not supported? That if I was supported, would help me to grow, would help me to expand, would help me to create what I truly desire, would help me to thrive on purpose. So this is about going into the blind spots, going into the shadow, and understanding where you may be unconsciously pushing away the very thing that you require or desire, unconsciously blocking out the support that you need to thrive. It's very interesting. And this is tapping into the rewire to receive process, starting to understand where you aren't allowing yourself to receive support. And in allowing yourself to receive support and being well supported will be the key to growing into the next level of you. The question that I feel is the most important is getting clear on the support that you need as the human being, the business owner, the leader of your life, in order to thrive on purpose. What support do you need to support you mentally, emotionally, physically, that will allow you to focus on your zone of genius, creating from your wealth frequency, creating from your inner genius? What support do you need under you and around you? This is your self-care support team. Ask yourself that question. What do you need? And this may be a slow build of allowing yourself to receive more and more, one baby step at a time. But what I love to do is to tap into that future wealthy you and say, what support do I have in place when I have all the money, all the success, all the wealth? What do I do from this place? Because what I've found is when you are really well supported in every area of your life that's going to support you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, it allows you to activate your creative power, your creative potential. It is a refuel. It supports you. It recharges your batteries. It fills your cup so that you can be courageous and brave and make big, bold decisions, take scary action, innovate, expand into new levels of being. Because that can be deeply stressful and very confronting and put a lot of pressure on you. And it can have a real impact on your mental health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health. So from my point of view, it's essential that you are well supported so you can keep going and keep growing. Practically, it avoids burnout, but it actually helps you to connect to your creative power and your creative intelligence, the innovator within you that knows how to keep growing, that knows how to thrive on purpose. It doesn't mean that there won't be setbacks and failures and challenges. No, that's part of the game. But the support that you allow yourself to receive allows you to release any stress or tension, process more quickly, get back into alignment with yourself again so that you can move back into aligned action and be an effective producer in your business, your finances, and your life. But also know when it's time to rest, when it's time to receive, when it's time to completely let go so you can realign yourself. There are a lot of patterns and programs and beliefs that will be stopping you or blocking you from allowing yourself to be well supported. This is really important to dive into. This is part of the money mindset piece. You can ask yourself, what is stopping me or blocking me from allowing myself to be well supported? What is stopping me or blocking me from receiving the support that I need? And this is where we go into the shadows, where we go into pain or shame, often not feeling worthy or deserving, or it's too vulnerable. It feels too scary. It feels too exposing. Maybe you don't feel safe. You don't feel lovable. There's a part of the self that doesn't know how to receive. And this is part of the training of the money manifestation mastery process. This is part of getting into the money gym and building those money muscles. It's teaching yourself, training yourself to shift your perception, your point of view, your mindset, your beliefs in order to create the results that you want. And that's what's so exciting about this path and this process is that you're always learning, you're always unlearning, you're always growing, you're always letting go, you're always expanding, you're always dying to the old, being born into the new. And it keeps life very exciting, very thrilling. And it helps you to become fully alive in this beautiful body, on this beautiful planet, for this short and precious time. What I know now that I didn't know back then is that no human being can truly thrive by themselves. We absolutely need support to thrive. It's not possible to do what you need to do, to become who you need to become, to create what you're here to create, to grow what you're here to grow by yourself. It requires teamwork. It requires a lot of support. And it is not a weakness. It is a strength. So I'd like you to ask yourself, what support do I need to thrive on purpose? Tap into that future wealthy you. Get really clear on what's in place in that future vision. That could take you time to build, to grow, to allow yourself to receive. That could take 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. So that's the big goal, the big dream. And then once you've got that in place and you're really getting clear on who you are when you are well supported, when the wealth is here and the business is here and everything that you want and desire you have created, then bridge the gap to where you are now. We want to do the inner work and first get clear on what's stopping you or blocking you from being well supported So you want to identify where you're unconsciously blocking yourself from allowing support in. We want to hold that part of you, love that part of you, and teach this part of you how to receive. And allow that future wealthy you to be your guide in the present. And ask, what is one small, simple baby step that you can take now to welcome more support into your life or into your business? What's a small little thing that you can do to support you? Ask your wealthy wisdom within to show you. That's how we start. That's how we grow. That's how we build, one small baby step at a time. And if there's an area of your life you're struggling with and you cannot see the wood for the trees, you cannot see a way through, one of my favorite questions to ask is, who or what can support me with this? Who or what can support me with this? What is the best support to solve this problem? And holding space for the question, holding space for the problem, and allowing the problem or pain that you're currently experiencing to communicate with you, to show you, to guide you into what's missing, and to help you see what you need, the missing pieces of support that you require in order to grow, in order to move into that next level. And remember that this is the gift of pain and challenges. They're here to grow you. They're here to show what's missing. They're here to show you where the blind spots are within. So I always start within, but of course it's mirrored without. As within, so without. We want to make sure we're bridging that gap between your inner world and your outer world, starting with you, your beautiful being, your beautiful body, and then building out into your business, into your finances, into all areas of your life. So write this down. The more supported I am, the more successful I am. Support is a superpower. And allow this to be your new mantra, your new statement, and open up to receive more and more support in all areas of your life. Thank you for joining us for today's conversation. Support is a superpower. I would love to hear what you received from this conversation today. Please head over to my website, larawaldman.com. Send me a message, send me an email. I'd love to hear what you're receiving from this conversation and from this podcast so far. Please get in touch. And I'd like to ask you for some support today. I'm wanting to grow this podcast, grow the audience, and get this information into the hands of as many big-hearted business owners as possible. So if you can please do me a favor and take a minute to rate this podcast, review this podcast, and share this podcast with anyone who you feel would receive benefit from this content. Thank you so much. And I look forward to being with you again next time for another episode of the Money Manifestation Mastery podcast. See you then.